Not only for science, but for majority of us, everything is relative, especially these fields of our life that are so important for us. They are so important for us. So therefore, when we talk, for example, about pleasure or pain or food, for some person, a pain could be unbearable. It could be excruciating, but for another person, the same pain could be pleasure. When we talk about temperature and when we talk about life experiences, for one person could be difficult to think even about it, whereas another person holds it every day. So not only science, but we would love to control the state of our minds that we really would like to see that are changing for good. So take for example an easy example of cortisol, that we can raise the level of cortisol in our brain or lower, or blood pressure or whatever that is. Yes, we can go to pharmacy, buy remedy, implement that remedy, and then after a certain period of time, the problem comes back to its original state. And the same with antibiotics. We haven't been healed, it was an illusion. The remedy is an illusion and the state of healing was an illusion. Why illusion? Because it doesn't work. It worked for 5 minutes, for 5 days, and stopped working. It was an illusion. It doesn't work. And the same, of course, we apply in other area of our lives. Yes, we can talk about psychosomatic things or let's say total biology, where there is a healing by consciousness, yet these are also effects. So when we talk about the communication and we use in this communication new applications that we download to communicate or to solve our problems, our technical problems, IT problems, sooner or later we will figure it out that it doesn't work anymore. We have to get back to the source and get another one. So it worked or not? Yes, it did. And we get used to that. And the way we make money, we meet people, we get used to that something worked for 5 minutes, for 5 days, and then stop. And then again, we pass on our consciousness to believe that that's the way of life. That's the style of our life, because the narration of science is that we have all answers to your pain and doubt and insecurity and anxiety and misfortunes. This is what the science is passing on us. Yes, they do, but it lasts only for 5 minutes, which is an illusion. And when we talk about our life, that's what we do. And we shouldn't be surprised that we live in an illusion, that we live in pain, that everything what we have built so far through decades has been nothing else but an illusion, because we have been investing in an illusion. We have been building fragmentarization between people. We have been doing such a thing, and we are not aware of that. Maybe aware, maybe not. It doesn't matter, but this is what we have been doing. And we cannot change illusion using illusion. We can add more illusion to our life. We can be whatever you want to be, but you cannot change illusion, because it's not real. Now, the true world, the world of 99.99%, the metaphysical world, the world of something that we call so spiritual world, this is true world, and this world cannot be changed, and illusion cannot influence that world. So what are we supposed to do? Sooner or later, we as humanity, collectively and individually, we have to heal the process and transform the fragmentarization, the process of illusion, because this is the purpose why we are here. The answer is only, are we going to be forced to do it, or are we doing it on our terms? And if we don't wake up that we have been passing on to science our consciousness, the most precious and expensive and most paramount merchandise that we have, our consciousness, we have been giving away. We have been giving away. And we shouldn't be really surprised that politicians that control science, they take advantage of us. And they do whatever they want to do with us. And they tell us whatever they want to tell us, and we really don't know anymore what is right and what is not. We just want to be on our own. And this is precisely what they wanted. This is exactly what they wanted us to do. Not to get involved, not to ask questions, not to think about it. Just passed on to the science your knowledge, your life, your health, your education, wherever that is, the way you deal with your partner even, the way you want to learn, everything has been put, every single desire even, now is going to be manifested or thought by science. Have you noticed that? So everything what is happening right now, let's say in the United States, that the books are being taken out from the printing and the discrimination rises, all of these things are something that shouldn't have happened. And we are investing towards that. We think that this is the most important thing in our life, which is not, which is at all not. We should be more concerned what is happening to us. And of course we shouldn't fight. We should start with ourselves. We should start seeing that we have been passing on our consciousness. So, yes, the way and the paradoxes of discriminations and the way what is happening is just the beginning, what you will see. And we should wake up from that story. We should wake up from this thing, what is happening, and don't pay attention to that. And don't get involved into that. This illustration on the cover of the books representing something that it shouldn't have been there because it's discrimination, because it's racism. This has nothing to do with that. We are just searching. The ego tells us invest in science. Invest is what something is wrong and something is not. And science tells us, political science, this is not right. Let's get involved into that. Whereas other people are suffering, we are suffering really, and we don't know what we are being doing. So think about it right now, about your field of life, where you are suffering right now, where you really suffer. The way you did, let's say you don't have money, your financial, you are stressed or distressed because of this financial situation or work or whatever. Perhaps there is an issue with relationship or the way you make money. Just look at it and you will see that you have been implementing in this area where you have most pain into science all the time, into this thing, into this remedy that lasted only for a certain period of time. That yes, it numbed the pain, but only for a second, for a few minutes, for a few days. And then again and again and again, we came back to this. Even the way of thinking, the way of dealing with the problem, the way which party you represent, it doesn't matter. It's the science still. It's the science still, because it takes us away from our consciousness, who we are, and the way we can heal ourselves. And that is the paramount thing we should be concerned about, that we can heal ourselves. And of course we need lawyer, we need attorney, we need internet, but they are only channels. We need spiritual advisor, but they are only channels to pass on, to represent us in this way or another. But we, with our consciousness, can heal the process. We can heal ourselves, our body, our consciousness, our financial situation, family, relationship. We can do that. But we cannot do that as long as we are going to pass on our consciousness to science. So think about it, and I hope you will find out in the most painful area of your life that you have been investing not for a month, not for a year, but for years into science, and you agree with the science. And therefore today, we don't know anymore what to do. We feel incapacitated. There is no strength in our consciousness. We just want to again pass on to another solution, to another resolution, our consciousness. And that is something we should be more concerned about.